Chinyere smiled shyly. It is nice to meet you too, Emeka. Adaeze, not being used to being ignored, quickly changed her tactics. She began to flirt with Emeka, laughing at his jokes and complimenting him on his looks. Chinyere, being a kind soul, she wasn't bothered. She didn't mind. She was happy to see her friend enjoying herself. Once upon a time, in the ancient village of Umudike, surrounded by lush forests and flowing rivers, lived a princess named Adaeze and her best friend Chinor. Adaeze was the daughter of King Ezudo, who ruled the village with wisdom and fairness. Adaeze, however, was very different from her father. She was beautiful, but known for her mean and wicked ways. People in the village gossiped about her behind her back, saying she has a heart as cold as ice, despite being surrounded by wealth and luxury. She was never satisfied and always demanded for more. Meanwhile, Chinyere, Princess' best friend, came from a poor family. Her father was a simple farmer and her mother sold vegetable in the market. Chinyere was beautiful with a kind and gentle soul that shined through her every action. She was loved by everyone in the village for her generosity and warmth nature. Although she had very little, she shared whatever she had with those in need, and this made people to love her so much. The two girls had grown up together and were inseparable. Chinyere saw the good in everyone, even Adaeze. She believed that deep down, the princess had a good heart that was just waiting to be uncovered. The villagers often wondered how such a kind girl like Chinyere could be friends with someone as mean-spirited as the princess. But Chinyere never let the princess' bad habits and behavior affect her. She's always hoping that one day her friend would change because despite the princess surrounded by wealth and luxury, she was never satisfied and always demanded for more. Her desires growing with each passing day like a greedy flame. One sunny afternoon, Princess Adaeze and Chinyere, her best friend, decided to take a walk through the village square. The market was bustling with activity as vendors called out to customers trying to sell their goods. The air was filled with the smell of fresh bread and ripe fruits. As they walked, they chatted and laughed, enjoying each other's company. Suddenly, a handsome young man named Emeka, who was visiting the village, caught sight of Chinyere. Emeka was tall, with broad shoulder and had a charming smile that could make any girl's heart beat fast. He was immediately captivated by Chinyere's beauty and the kindness that radiated from her. Gathering his courage, he approached the two friends. "Good afternoon, ladies." Emeka greeted them with a warm smile. "My name is Emeka. I couldn't help but notice your smile," he said, looking directly at Chinyere. Before Chinyere could respond, Adaeze stepped forward, her eyes glinting with mischief. "Hello, Emeka," she said. "I am Princess Adaeze, and this is my friend Chinyere." Emeka was taken back by the princess' boldness. He had never met anyone as bold like her. But he quickly recovered and turned his attention back to Chinyere. "It was a pleasure to meet you, Chinyere," he said. Chinyere smiled shyly. "It is nice to meet you too, Emeka." Adaeze, not used to being ignored, quickly changed her tactics. She began to flirt with Emeka, laughing at his jokes and complimenting on his looks. Chinyere, being a kind soul, she wasn't bothered. She didn't mind. She was happy to see her friend enjoying herself, even if it meant stepping aside. As days passed, Emeka continued to visit the village, hoping to see Chinyere again. But each time he tried to talk to her, Adaeze would find a way to interrupt. She couldn't stand the idea of someone preferring Chinyere over her. It wasn't long before her jealousy turned into something more darker. One evening, Adaeze overheard her father, King Ezudo, and the village elders talking about how much they admired Chinyere. They spoke of her kindness and how she brought joy to everyone around her. Even the king himself praised Chinyere, saying he wished his daughter could be more like her. This was the final straw for Adaeze. She couldn't bear the thought of Chinyere being loved more than her, even by her own father. That night, Adaeze made a plan. She visited a dark hidden part of the village where an old mysterious woman lived. This woman was known for her ability to cast spells and blue potions. "I need your help," Adaeze said, her voice cold and determined. "I want you to cast a spell on Chinyere." The old woman looked at Adaeze with a mixture of curiosity and caution. "What kind of spell?" she asked. "I want her to suffer," Adaeze replied, her eyes burning with anger. "I want her to feel the pain of being unloved and unwanted." The old woman nodded slowly. "Very well then," she said. "But remember, there is always a price to pay for such dark magic." Adaeze didn't care. She was willing to pay any price to bring Chinyere down. The old woman mixed a potion and chanted an incantation. She handed Adaeze a small container filled with a dark liquid. "Make sure Chinyere drinks this," the old woman instructed. "Once she does, she will be cursed. Her face will change to that of a beast. Whenever any man looks at her with love." Adaeze took the container and left, her heart filled with wickedness. The next day, she invited Chinyere to the palace for lunch. Chinyere, always happy to spend time with her best friend, gladly accepted. At the palace, Adaeze was the perfect hostess. She served Chinyere delicious food and made sure her friends feel comfortable. As they ate, Adaeze poured Chinyere a drink from the container the old woman had given her. "Try this," Adaeze said with a sweet smile. "It is a special drink. I had made it just for you." Chinyere, trusting her friend completely, took a sip. The liquid was bitter, but she didn't complain. As the evening went on, Chinyere began to feel strange. She felt a sharp pain in her face and excused herself to go to the bedroom. When she looked in the mirror, she screamed. Her beauty had transformed into a horrifying of human and beast form. She had sharp tooth growing on one side of her face and a red eye. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. Chinyere quickly covered her face with her hands and ran back to Adaeze. She was crying so badly. Something terrible has happened, she cried. Adaeze pretended to be shocked. Oh no, Chinyere, what happened? Chinyere explained what she had seen in the mirror. Adaeze comforted her, hiding her satisfaction. Don't worry, Chinyere. You will find a way. In fact, we will find a way to fix this, she said, even though she had no intention of helping her friend. Tears streamed down her face as she fled to her house, avoiding the curious eyes of the villagers. She didn't sleep that night. Her mind wandered in fear and confusion. What had happened to her? Why was this happening now? The next day, Chinyere avoided everyone, staying hidden in her small hut. She couldn't bear the thought of anyone seeing her like that. But her absence did not go unnoticed. The villagers loved Chinyere, and when they didn't see her at the market or by the river, they soon began to worry. Gossip spread, and soon even the king heard of her strange disappearance. The next few days were a nightmare for Chinyere. Whenever any man looked at her with admiration or love, her face would transform into the beastly form. She avoided the villagers, too embarrassed to let anyone see her. One person who noticed her absence more than anyone was Prince Chima, the king's son. Prince Chima had always admired Chinyere from afar. He loved her kind heart and gently spirit, and he couldn't understand why she had suddenly disappeared. He decided to visit her to make sure she was alright. As he approached her house, he knocked gently on the door. Chinyere, it is Prince Chima. Are you alright? There were no response, no answer. He knocked again, more intently this time. Please, Chinyere, let me in. I just want to make sure you are safe. Inside, Chinyere heard his voice and hesitated. She didn't want anyone to see her like that, especially not Prince Chima. But she knew she couldn't hide forever. Taking a deep breath to calm her nerves, she opened the door, enough for him to see her eyes. Chinyere, what is wrong? Prince Chima asked, his voice filled with concern. She opened the door wider, revealing her face. Prince Chima grasped. He was shocked, but to Chinyere's surprise, he didn't draw back or walk away. Instead, he stepped inside, his eyes filled with compassion. Chinyere, what happened to you? He asked gently. Chinyere burst into tears, and Prince Chima took her into his arms, holding her as she sobbed. I don't know, she cried. One moment, I was fine, and the next, this. Prince Chima held her at his arm's length, looking into her eyes. We will figure this out, Chinor. I promise, you are not alone. His words gave Chinor a glimmer of hope. Do you really mean that? She asked. I do, Prince Chima replied, and I will do whatever it takes to help you. Determined to help her, Prince Chima took Chinyere to see the village healer, Mama Ejike. Mama Ejike was known for her wisdom and her knowledge of the ancient ways. Her small hut were filled with the scent of herbs, dry plants from the ceiling, and jars containing mysterious ingredients. Mama Ejike greeted them at the door. "Come in, my children," she said warmly. "Tell me what troubles you." Chinyere and Prince Chima explained what had happened, and Mama Ejike listened quietly, nodding occasionally. When they finished, she took Chinyere's hand and examined her. She examined her face closely. "This is a powerful dark magic," she said. "Someone had cast an evil spell on you, Chinyere." Chinyere's heart raced. But who could have done such a thing and why? Mama Ejike looked at her palm. Jealousy is a powerful motivator," she said, "and it often comes from those closest to us. Tell me, Chinyere, have you noticed anyone acting strangely around you lately?" Chinyere thought about it, and her mind couldn't place anyone. She said to herself, could her best friend really have done this? The thought was too painful to bear. She shook her head, unable to believe it. Mama Ejike, understanding Chinyere, "We will find the truth," she said. "But first, we must break this curse. I will need some time to prepare a potion. In the meantime, you must be careful. Do not let anyone see you in this state, as it could cause great fear and panic." Mama Ejike prepared a special potion and gave it to Chinor. "Drink this," she instructed. "It will help break the curse. But remember, the one who cast the spell must also confess their wrongdoing." Chinyere drank the potion, feeling its warmth spread through her body. Mama Ejike looked at Prince Chima. "You must now help her uncover the truth," she said. "The one who cast this spell must be brought to justice for the curse to be completely broken." Prince Chima nodded, determined to find out who had done this to Chinyere. They thanked Mama Ejike and left her hut. Chinyere, feeling a glimmer of hope for the first time since the curse had begun. As they walked back to the village, Prince Chima held Chinyere tightly. "We will find out who did this to you," he promised, "and we will make them confess." Chinyere smiled weakly. "Thank you, Prince Chima. I don't know what I would have done without you." When they returned to the village, Prince Chima decided to start his investigation immediately. He spoke with the villagers, trying to find out if anyone had seen anything unusual around the time Chinyere was cursed. The villagers were eager to help as they all loved Chinyere and were horrified by what had happened to her. Days turned into weeks, and Prince Chima's investigation yielded no progress. The villagers were all genuinely concerned for Chinyere, but no one had seen anything out of the ordinary. Frustrated but determined, Prince Chima decided to speak with Chinyere's closest friend, her sister, Prince Adaeze. He hoped that she might have noticed something he had missed. One evening, he visited Adaeze in her room. She welcomed him with a smile, but there was a glint in her eyes that made him uneasy. "Prince Chima, what a pleasant surprise. Adaeze said to him, "What do I owe this visit? I need your help." Prince Chima said, "You are Chinyere's best friend, and I thought you might have some information that could help us find out who caused her." Adaeze became very nervous for a moment. Then she quickly recovered. "Of course, Prince Chima, I want to help Chinyere as much as you do," she said sweetly. "But I'm afraid I haven't seen anything unusual." Prince Chima watched her closely, sensing that she was hiding something. He decided to leave it for now, but vowed to keep a close eye on her. Adaeze paced around in her room, her mind racing. She had been shocked by the immediate and drastic effect of the spell she had cast on Chinyere. She had expected it to take time, but the rapid transformation frightened her. She had not anticipated the guilt that bit at her, nor the fear of being discovered. Her father, King Ezudo, noticed her unease and called her to his chambers. "Adaeze, my dear, is something troubling you?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Adaeze forced a smile. "No, father, I am just tired from the festival." The king nodded, though his eyes were filled with worry. "You know you can tell me anything, my princess. You must not keep burdens to yourself." Adaeze nodded, but the guilt weighed heavier on her heart. She knew she had to be careful, especially now that Chinyere's strange affliction was bound to raise questions. She couldn't afford to let her father nor anyone else discover what she has done. That night, as Adaeze lay in her bed, she heard a noise outside her window. She sat up, her heart pounding, and she saw a shadow slip into the palace ground. Fear gripped her. Could it be that someone knew her secret? She rushed to the window and watched as the figure disappeared into the night. Adaeze knew she had to find a way to cover her tracks, to ensure that no one could trace the cause back to her. She decided to visit the old woman who had given her the potion. She needed to know if there is a way she can undo what she did, or at very least to make sure it couldn't be traced back to her. The next morning, Adaeze slipped out of the palace, making her way to the edge of the village where the old woman lived. The path was overgrown and twisted. As she walked, she felt the weight of her action pressing down on her. But she pushed forward, determined to protect herself. When she arrived at the old woman's hut, she hesitated before knocking on the door. The old woman opened it. "Ah, Princess Adaeze," she said, "I have been expecting you." Adaeze's heart skipped a beat. "You knew I would come?" The old woman smiled, a twisted knowing. "Of course, you have meddled with dark forces, child. There is always a price to pay." Adaeze shivered. Is there a way to undo the spell, or to make sure no one can trace it back to me? The old woman laughed out so loudly. "Undo the spell? Why would you want to do that? And as for tracing it back to you, dark magic always leaves a mark. It is not so easily hidden." Adaeze became scared. But what if someone finds out? What if they know it was me? The old woman sighed. Then you must be prepared to face the consequences. Magic is not something to be taken lightly. Princess, desperate, Adaeze begged the old woman for help. But the old woman only shook her head, her eyes gleaming with dark amusement. You have made your choice, Princess Adaeze. Now you must live with it. That night, as Chinyere lay in bed, she had a dream in her dream. She saw the old woman who had given Adaeze the potion. The old woman looked at Chinyere with sad eyes and whispered to her, "The truth is closer than you think. Look within your heart and you will find the answers." Chinyere woke up immediately, scared, her heart pounding. She remembers the old woman's words and realized she needed to trust her instincts. She decided to visit Adaeze the next day and confront her, hoping that her friend would tell her the truth. When Chinyere arrived at the palace, she found Adaeze in the garden, tending to the flower. "Adaeze, can we talk?" Chinyere asked quickly. Adaeze looked up. She became very nervous. "Of course, Chinyere. What is it?" Chinyere took a deep breath, steadying her nerves. "Adaeze, I had a dream last night. In that dream, I saw an old woman who told me the truth is closer than I think. I needed to know if you know anything about the cause." Adaeze became more scared. She looked away. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about," she stammered. Chinyere reached out and took her friend's hand. "Please, Adaeze, I need to know the truth. If you know anything, please tell me." Tears filled Adaeze's eyes as she struggled with her guilt. She knew she couldn't keep the secret any longer. I I am so sorry," she said. "I was the one who caused you. I was jealous of you because everyone loved you more than me. I went to the old woman and I asked her to cast a spell on you." Chinyere's heart broke as she listened to Adaeze's confession. She couldn't believe that her best friend would do something so cruel. "Why, Adaeze? Why would you do this to me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Adaeze sobbed, unable to look at Chinyere's face. "I was foolish and selfish. I thought that if I made you suffer, people would love me more. But all I did was to hurt you and everyone around me. I am so sorry, Chinyere." Prince Chima, who had been searching for Chinyere, arrived just in time to hear Adaeze's confession. He stepped forward, his face mixed with anger and disbelief. "Adaeze, how could you do this to your best friend?" Adaeze fell on her knees weeping. "I am so sorry, Prince Chima. I was wrong and I will do anything to make it right." Chinyere looked at her friend, her heart filled with a mixture of sadness and anger. But she knew that holding on to anger would not solve her issue. "Adaeze, I forgive you," she said, "but you must come with me to Mama Ejike and confess what you have done." Adaeze nodded, grateful for Chinyere's forgiveness. Together, they went to Mama Ejike's hut, where the old healer was waiting for them. Adaeze confessed her actions and Mama Ejike listened. "You have done well to confess your wrongdoing," Mama Ejike said. the spirit will forgive you and the cost will be lifted. Mama Ejike chanted a powerful incarnation and brought a light surrounding Chinyere. Slowly, the bestial features on her face began to fade, replaced by her natural beauty. Chinyere felt a sense of relief as the curse disappeared and was lifted. Adaeze looked at Chinyere with tears filled her eyes. Thank you for forgiving me, Chinyere. I will spend the rest of my life making up for this that I did. Chinyere hugged her, hoping that this experience would change Adaeze for the better. Prince Chima, who had witnessed the entire scene, felt a deep sense of admiration for Chinyere's capacity to forgive. With the curse broken, Chinyere returned to the village and the villagers rejoiced to see her again. Prince Chima, who had fallen deeply in love with Chinyere, proposed to her and she accepted with a joyful heart. Their wedding was a grand celebration, attended by everyone in the village, including the repentant Adaeze. King Ezudo, proud of his son and Chinyere, blessed their union and welcomed Chinyere into the royal family as a princess. The love and kindness that Chinyere had always shown to others were now returned to her in tenfold. As for Adaeze, she worked hard to earn back the trust of the villagers. She dedicated in helping those in need, and slowly the village began to see a change in her. She realized that true happiness came from being kind and loving, not from jealous and spite. The story of Chinyere and Adaeze taught the village three important lessons. True beauty comes from within. Chinyere's kind and beautiful soul shined brighter than any physical appearance, and it was her inner beauty that truly captivated the hearts of those around her. Adaeze's jealousy led to her downfall and led to her to take a dark path, causing pain and suffering. It was only through recognizing her flaws and seeking for forgiveness that she found peace. Despite the hurt and betrayal, Chinyere forgave Adaeze, showing that true strength lies in forgiveness. Adaeze's sincere efforts to make amends demonstrated that it was never too late to change and seek redemption. And so, the village of Umudike thrived, its people living in harmony. Having learned that love, kindness, and forgiveness are the true treasure of life. Thank you for watching. Hey fam, please show your support by sharing the story and subscribing. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us in the comment section about what you think about the story. Thank you.